All right, welcome back, everyone, for this deep dive. We're going to be talking all about some really important glands and the hormone that they produce.
Yeah.
And just to kind of set the stage a little bit here, we're going to be mainly talking about the pancreas, the pineal gland, and then the gonads.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be jumping all around the body. And I think we're going to learn some pretty cool things about how these glands and these hormones kind of regulate a lot of our bodily functions.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about how these, relatively small organs play such a huge role in our overall well-being.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll touch upon, everything from digestion to sleep to reproduction. And
Mhm.
so a real deep dive into the endocrine system.
Okay, so let's start out with the pancreas. I know that it's kind of tucked away behind the stomach, and it's got this really weird, almost tadpole-like shape.
Yeah, it's not the most glamorous looking organ, I have to say, but it's absolutely vital.
Right. So, can you kind of walk us through what the pancreas is actually doing, like what its job is?
Sure. So the pancreas actually has two main functions. We call those exocrine and endocrine.
Okay.
So the exocrine function is all about digestion.
Mm.
So the pancreas produces digestive juices.
Okay.
These juices are packed full of enzymes,
Mm-hmm.
and these enzymes, they break down the food that we eat.
Okay.
So those enzymes help us to absorb the nutrients.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like prepping the food, getting it ready.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exact. It's like a master chef in your abdomen,
Yeah.
chopping everything up.
Okay. So what about the endocrine function?
Right. So this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The endocrine function involves the production of hormones.
Okay.
Now, within the pancreas, there are these clusters of cells. They're
Mhm.
called the islets of Langerhans.
The islands of what?
Langerhans.
Langerhans.
It's named after the scientist who discovered them.
Okay.
And these islets, they're like little islands, and they secrete hormones directly into the bloodstream.
Okay.
And these hormones regulate blood sugar levels.
Okay. So are these islets are they kind of scattered throughout the pancreas?
Yeah, they're distributed throughout. It's like a little archipelago
Okay.
within the pancreas.
Cool.
And each islet, it contains different types of cells, and they each produce different hormones.
Okay. So what are some of the hormones that we should know about?
Right. So the two big ones that everyone's probably heard of, glucagon and insulin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, glucagon, think of this as like a wake-up call for your liver.
Okay.
When your blood sugar levels drop too low, glucagon kicks in,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells your liver, "Hey, we need more glucose in the bloodstream."
Okay.
So your liver releases stored glucose, bringing your blood sugar levels back up.
Got it. So glucagon kind of raises blood sugar.
Exactly.
And then insulin's kind of the opposite, right?
Yeah, insulin is all about lowering blood sugar levels.
Uh-huh.
So after you eat, your blood sugar goes up, right?
Right.
And insulin is released from the pancreas,
Okay.
and it acts like a key.
Okay.
It unlocks your cells, allowing glucose to enter,
Mm-hmm.
and that glucose is then used for energy,
Okay.
or it's stored for later use.
Got it. Got it. So basically, insulin is like the escort, getting the glucose where it needs to go.
Exactly. Yeah, a very important escort.
Okay. And when that system gets messed up, that's when we start talking about diabetes.
Right. So there are different types of diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Type 1 diabetes, this is where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the insulin-producing cells
Oh, wow.
in the pancreas.
Mm.
So it's like friendly fire.
Yeah.
The body's attacking itself,
Mm-hmm.
and it means the body can't produce less insulin.
So what happens then?
Well, without enough insulin, glucose can't get into the cells.
Right.
So it builds up in the bloodstream.
Okay.
And that can lead to all sorts of problems.
Right.
This type is usually diagnosed in childhood or adolescence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, type 2 diabetes, that's the more common one, right?
Right. That's the one we hear about a lot more.
Yeah.
Type 2 accounts for about 90% of all diabetes cases.
Wow.
And in this type, the body becomes resistant to insulin.
Okay.
So the insulin is there,
Oh.
but it's not working as efficiently.
Oh, okay.
It's like the key doesn't quite fit the lock anymore.
Got it.
And this is often linked to lifestyle factors,
Okay.
like diet, a lack of exercise.
All right. Wow, that's a lot of information about the pancreas.
It's a busy little organ.
Yeah, yeah. Really important, though. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the pineal gland.
All right.
So, first of all, where is this thing?
So the pineal gland is deep within the brain. It's actually shaped like a tiny pine cone,
Okay.
hence the name.
So it's like a little tiny pine cone just hanging out in our brain?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And it might be small, but it plays a really important role.
Okay.
It produces melatonin,
Oh, melatonin, yeah.
the sleep hormone.
Right.
So melatonin helps to regulate our sleep-wake cycles. It tells our body when it's time to sleep, when it's time to wake up.
Okay, so what triggers the pineal gland to produce melatonin? Like, how does it know when to do that?
Right. So melatonin production is actually controlled by light.
Okay.
So when it starts to get dark outside, the pineal gland starts to produce melatonin.
Okay.
And that makes us feel sleepy.
Okay, that makes sense. Is that why I always feel so sleepy in the winter?
It could be. During the winter, there are fewer hours of daylight.
Right.
So we're exposed to less light.
Yeah.
Which means our pineal glands are producing more melatonin.
Okay, that makes sense. Is that connected at all to seasonal affective disorder?
Yeah, absolutely. So seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, it's a type of depression
Okay.
that's linked to the change in seasons.
Right.
And it's thought that, the reduced sunlight during the winter months can disrupt melatonin production. And that can lead to symptoms like low energy, changes in mood, sleep problems.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely get that in the winter. It's hard to get going in the morning.
Right. And it's interesting because one of the treatments for SAD is light therapy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so basically using a special lamp to mimic sunlight.
Okay.
And that can help to regulate melatonin levels.
Wow. That's pretty amazing that, something as simple as light can have such a big impact on our mood and our sleep patterns.
It really is. It really shows how interconnected our bodies are with the environment.
For sure. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the gonads.
All right, the gonads.
Yeah.
So these are the primary reproductive organs.
Right.
But their influence goes far beyond just, making babies.
Okay.
They produce hormones that affect, all sorts of things throughout the body.
So we're talking ovaries in females, tests in males.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with the ovaries. What are they producing?
So the ovaries, they're located on either side of the uterus, and they produce two main hormones, estrogen and progesterone.
Okay.
And these hormones, they're really powerful. They influence the development of secondary sexual characteristics.
Okay, so that's things like breasts, body hair, that sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
They also regulate the menstrual cycle. They're involved in pregnancy and even milk production.
Wow. So they really are kind of running the show when it comes to the female reproductive system.
They are, yeah. They're essential. Now, the tests in males.
Yeah.
They're responsible for producing testosterone.
Okay, the male hormone.
Right, often associated with masculinity. But it's important to remember that testosterone does a lot more than just give, guys a deeper voice or facial hair.
Right.
It's essential for sperm production. It plays a role in muscle mass and bone density. It even involved in things like mood and energy levels.
Wow. So both estrogen and testosterone, they have these really wide-ranging effects on the body.
They do, yeah.
It's pretty fascinating. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the pancreas, the pineal gland, the gonads, and all the different hormones that they produce.
It's amazing how these tiny organs can have such a profound impact on our health and well-being.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and it makes you realize how important it is to take care of ourselves, to make sure that these glands are functioning properly.
Absolutely. Your lifestyle choices, your diet, your sleep habits, your stress levels, all of these things can affect hormone production.
Right.
So by taking care of yourself, you're really supporting this delicate balance.
Yeah, it's like a symphony, right? Like all of these things have to be working together in harmony.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Okay, well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Me too.
And I think it's really important for people to understand this stuff, to realize how important these glands and these hormones are.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Yeah, exactly. So, to our listeners out there, just remember that, your body is amazing. It's doing all of this incredible stuff behind the scenes, 20/47. So be kind to it, take care of yourself, and yeah, keep learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Well, that wraps up this deep dive.
Until next time.
We'll see you next time.